Okay. We had a series of problems earlier today, so hopefully those are all worked out, and this is actually working. I'm going to, shortly into this, actually shut down one of the screens I have open on here, which might kill the entire
Why don't we do it right now?
Yeah, let's do it now, just in case things go horribly wrong. So if you don't mind, if you are watching right now, if you are tuning in, and suddenly things go dark, just in the chat, let us know, please, and then we'll restart this thing. Here we go. All right, so I've clicked the button, and please, someone in the chat, let me know if you can still see what's going on. And then we'll officially start. This is kind of the fake start.
This is the fake start.
Yeah.
We'll even do the intro.
Right, a proper intro?
Yeah.
Do I have to sing the intro song?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
I think you added a couple notes in there, actually.
I think I did. Hey, welcome to the Watch It Played Q&A show. It's happening.
Hey.
Finally, this is a Q&A show that I had promised as part of a stretch goal during our last fundraiser. I would try to do monthly, and glare level low. Pictures moving, sound good. Good, everyone's giving it. All right, and we got the turtle shirt that won the battle.
For now.
For now, yeah. So the stretch goal was to do these monthly. It's now several months after the end of the fundraiser. I really had...
We'll do 2 a month to catch up.
We'll have to. We'll have to do that. Basically what happened was when Pep and I did have time to get together, we just focused on doing instructional videos and gameplays rather than coming on and doing these Q&As. And although these are not as labor intensive as the instructional videos, the setup, there's always so many things that can go wrong. Earlier today when we were doing a test, and thanks so many of you who jumped in and helped us test, I mean, the light fell down and nearly killed me, right?
Yeah.
Then sometimes we bring dangers to the table. Pep, do you want to show? Pep sometimes just brings swords to the table just to add a little more peril. And we've even got drinks here that we can knock over and ruin all this equipment. Anyway, this will be sort of our first attempt at doing this live Q&A thing since a long time, and hopefully things will go smoothly and we can improve as time goes on.
It has been a long time. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
No, I am Reginald, and this is
Pat.
Right. That's a little joke from the comments we saw earlier. Pep, pretty frequently, and outside of the channel, just in real life.
Real life, yeah.
Real life. You are called Pat sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if someone's calling me. Be like, who is this? Did you say Pat? Well, they don't even say that. They just assume. It's like, oh, yeah, well, that's great to hear, Patrick.
But we call him P.E.P. Pep.
P.E.P. Pep.
Yeah. All right. So if you want
Wait. We got to wait 10 minutes.
Why?
Half Evil's putting his kids to bed. Or her kids to bed.
Sorry, we're just going to have to move on. But we'll try to make it boring for the next 10 minutes. Sorry, everyone else. What I was thinking we could do here, we call it a live Q&A. So if you do have questions you want to ask, you want to do some board gaming banter with us, certainly feel free. But if there's a shortage of questions, that's no problem. We've got our own little gaming to do here. We've got the game Scruples. I don't know if you've heard of this before.
Oh, I'm going to go get the lid.
Go ahead, get the lid. You got an updated version of it too, didn't you?
Yeah, barely.
It's still like
updated till it's like 1987 now.
Yeah. What is Pep short for? That's one of our first questions.
It's not short for anything.
Right.
It's not my real name either. I do have a real name, but I've had the nickname ever since I was born.
Mysterious. You're a man of mystery, aren't you?
I know. And it was my grandfather's nickname, so I've just used it ever since I was young, yeah.
I do know Pep's real name, but I won't tell.
Never tell.
Never tell. Let's see. I think there's another couple of questions here. Oh, there it was. Jeff was asking the same thing, so that's the answer. What are we drinking, and do we care to share? Pete, you better tell everyone because I don't know. What are we drinking here? You mixed it.
Just random things from my fridge. Apple lemonade.
With maybe a little something extra thrown in there.
Maybe.
Okay, one of the questions here from Don Perry. This is a question I'm interested in answering. I think both of us will be. Are you planning on traveling to Gen Con this year, and do you actually get to do any gaming there?
Pete.
And listen, the chat will probably go much faster than we can actually get to the questions. I will do my best. Maybe even, I think I've seen Tom do this before, where he just kind of holds it where it is and then just scrolls down slowly. So we might be well behind the actual banter that's going on. We'll figure it out as we go along. Gen Con. I've said this before, actually. I forget where it was now, but last year, if you'd asked me, like before last Gen Con, if you'd asked me, hey, You excited to go Gen Con? You going to Gen Con? Absolutely. I would have said, yes, I'm going to Gen Con. Wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it for the world. This year, I've been really hemming and hawing about it, honestly. It's a very busy kind of show for me. It ends up being a certain amount of work, which is fine. I don't mind the work, but it has diminishing returns in a certain respect. Now that I've been doing the channel longer, I know the games that are coming out. I have met most of the publishers face to face, and honestly, in that setting, it's not really the best for meetings. A lot of meetings happen there, but they're generally between publishers and designers and things like that. And it's a lot of sales happening there. I still like the face-to-face time that I can manage at Gen Con, but it's a bit of a gong show, to be honest.
I'm going either way.
You're going for sure.
I'm going no matter what.
Yeah, I've been coming around lately in the last couple of days.
I'm going to do my best to convince you to go.
Yes.
But I'm going either way. I don't know what I'll do while I'm there. I usually try to get gaming in, but I just wander around the dealer hall for hours at a time usually.
Yeah, the dealer hall is my favorite. I do
play
love
Werewolf
that.
all night.
Oh, you play Werewolf endlessly.
All night, every night.
Yeah. You make up for the fact that we don't play it here hardly ever.
Yeah,
you get your fix in there at Gen Con.
Well, there's a difference between an 8-player game of Werewolf and a 40-player game of Werewolf.
Yeah,
anyway.
all night long.
Yeah.
I will say this one thing. I've said this before. Gen Con to me, although it is not as enjoyable a convention as some of the other ones that I attend, it is the biggest expression of our hobby to the world that I've ever been a part of. And that is super cool to be there and be like, oh, there's like, 65,000 other people here who share the same passion and excitement.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. Okay, so that was a great question. Thanks for asking. And yes, I am kind of coming around. I'm thinking, I'll probably go this year. And I kind of want to see what, like, Asmodee North America absorbing all these different companies, what's their booth going to be like? Is you just going to go into the main hall and just is all Asmodee? Like, what's that going to be like? It's
Asmodee and WotC. That's all that'll be there.
Yeah. And WotC's barely a presence.
Yeah, last year,
or like they might have a section somewhere else. Yeah, it's okay. So here we got another question here. Actually, there's so many questions. Let me go back here and see if I can find it.
It is not pepperoni McDonald's, but thank you. That's the comment.
What was your first game convention, and was it your first game convention no matter the subject? Or was it your first convention at all?
Oh, Gen Con for me.
For work, I used to work with the federal government, so I went to conventions. They were boring. Except the conventions I went to, sometimes I would create instructional videos, and I would always imagine that, right? Instructional videos for boring things like how to use your credit card with the government and that. But I always would make jokes and goofy things, so it was kind of fun to bring those to a convention where people have been talking finance for hours, and they got to watch a video, and they kind of laughed and enjoyed it. That was always good. But Gen Con was my first board gaming convention.
Yeah, it was my first both kind of conventions.
What a way to start too, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, from nothing to, and it was big.
It was big.
It's very overwhelming the first time.
Yeah, it was. It still is even when I go. Pep, have you ever made your own board card game?
I wonder if that's a loaded question. I do make games, quite a few of them.
How much did he pay you to ask that question?
I know. I used to make really bad games. I would basically base games. Like I have a Naruto board game, for example, and that's massive. I have something like 2,000 cards made for it for like all the different moves you can get, and it's ridiculous. But I obviously could never do anything with it. It's Naruto. Like,
Can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
You said you used to make bad games?
Well, I make good ones now.
Clay Legacy?
Clay Legacy is great. You have to give it a chance.
Oh, Clay Legacy is the worst. Clay Legacy is Pep's answer to the Legacy format. Actually, I'm going to describe it, and everyone's going to think it sounds amazing.
It does.
You describe it. You have pods of clay. Okay.
Yeah, your little grasper things. You have to use those grasper things to grab the clay
out of little pots, and then you challenge to do things with it, right? Like to try to create the
you gotta make the highest tower you can, and you get more points based on the height.
And it will droop over, of course, if it gets too top heavy or too long or not structurally strong enough. There's other perks and abilities you can use to enhance.
Yeah, you unlock like little glass beads you can use to try to pile it higher. Yeah.
Literally, he had like, how many packets did you create for this?
A lot. There's like 20, 30
30 packets. We played once, and I wanted to throw it in the bin. But you know what? My main this is so mean. The main reason for that is because the clay I
fixed that. I have Play-Doh clay now.
The clay was like getting stuck under everyone's fingers. It was like making a mess everywhere. So that really affected my enjoyment. But it was ludicrous what you'd came up with.
I make non-weird messy
He
games.
does. I'm just teasing because Pep's made a lot of very interesting games as of late as well. Oftentimes I'll play and I'll be like, oh, dang, this is really clever. This is something you could potentially publish. But time, effort, money, and all those things, right? Okay. Are you going to do a review on the world of Yoho? Well, review with the general sense of the word. No, I don't have a plan to do an instructional video for that yet. Doesn't mean I wouldn't. Yoho is a game that combines an app. You use your phone actually as a ship, and you move it around the board.
Oh, that way. Yeah, okay. I didn't know what you meant at first.
I haven't played it, so I don't know. Have you seen it?
No.
No, yeah. So
you told me about that.
Yeah, it's different looking. Whoa, I scrolled down a little bit and the whole thing jumped. Okay, the audio is getting out of sync with the video. Sometimes that happens. I don't know what to do about it, unfortunately. Hopefully it will get better.
Yeah, it might fix it.
We're really far back up in the notes probably, so as we go down, maybe someone can give us an update on how that out of sync is happening. We made one adjustment to this video before we went live. We went from 720p to 1080p, and that might have been a mistake.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Hello, Dara. Thanks for showing up fashionably late. Vassal gets mad when people ask the same questions multiple times. Does that bother you?
No. Doesn't bother me. No. I think if you're doing something like this and the same question gets asked multiple times, you just don't answer it multiple times.
Yeah, you just skip past it and keep going. I think it's common for people to ask similar questions or to have similar ideas, especially if you're tuning in at different times too, right? You're not necessarily going to see.
And someone who will watch this live Q&A might not have seen the last one, so they might have the same question.
Right.
I think unless it's, a very repetitive question, maybe don't put as much time into it every time you answer.
Right.
Shorten it each time.
Exactly.
It's like, well, I talk about this a lot, but
here's the quick soundbite. So Jeff Briggs says, we're adding Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes to our SaltCon convention on March 3rd to 4th in Utah. There you go. There's your little plug. So thanks. It looks fun. Yeah, I have a great time playing that game. Have you played? Yeah, we played it here, right?
Yeah, we played it a lot. It's fun. It's intimidating when you don't quite understand one of the ways that it works, though, and you're just kind of thrust into it. It's like, I don't know what's happening.
It can be a little overwhelming that way, especially some of the harder challenges. It's not a game I would recommend if you played it a bunch to just throw someone else in at the higher level with you. Give them a chance to try some of the earlier ones. Hey Barry, what's your favorite con?
Well, mine's Gen Con.
Yeah, it's your only con.
I haven't gone to any other cons yet.
It would be a toss-up between Cool Mini... Well, I guess there's kind of a three-way toss-up here, so that doesn't help. I was going to say VGG Con and Origins, but Cool Mini or Not Expo is really good as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because Pep, you're going to be going to that with me.
It's exciting.
Which is really cool. Yeah. I loved BGG-Con last year. It's a small convention. I spent a lot of time playing games with friends and not doing a lot of work, which was great. Love that. Because when I'm home, it's a lot of work. So, okay, we've got Pep, Dirty Old Clay McDonald. All right. They want to play through Clay Legacy.
Someday.
Yeah.
I'll make them do it.
Oh, the comments are skipping ahead here. Let's see. How are Luke and Andrew doing? Pep, are you married and or have children? Caitlin Sims, thanks for the question. I'll go first. Andrew and Luke are doing good. Andrew is in university, studying away. Luke is at home right now typing up an essay, I believe. But he's doing good too. Yeah, are you married?
I haven't told you yet, Rob.
Well, you have secret names. You could have a secret relationship for all I know.
No, I am not married, and I have no children.
All right. He's available, ladies.
And those crazy eyes. And thanks for the cute shirt comment. Rodney gave it to me.
I did, yeah. It was a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Pep loves turtles. Okay. Any chance for some titles you'll do tutorials for soon? Sure, Reddick. You turned into the live Q&A. I'm going to spoil some things for you.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to spoil it? Or
no, I meant are we going to spoil what we're doing tomorrow?
Okay, sure. We are going to be doing a tutorial for Tiny Epic Kingdoms 2nd edition. So you might have heard of this game before, but they have a 2nd edition releasing. I'm not intimately aware of the differences between the 1st and 2nd edition. You would be more aware of that.
Yeah, there's a couple subtle changes.
I think you found the rulebook a lot better in the 2nd edition.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm convinced that either there are a few changes or they were just intended in the first rulebook but not fully explained. So, and a couple little additions and changes about how the two-player game works quite a bit differently, and that's good.
And this 2nd edition is being paired with an expansion that's also being released at the same time. I believe you can buy it in a bundle too that comes like wrapped with a little cardboard sleeve. So that will be the next tutorial. We just recorded today the second episode of our Above and Below gameplay, which we're having a great deal of fun with. I hope you guys are tuning into that and checking it out. We recorded Table Talk this week. The last Table Talk was in May.
Yeah, it was.
So it's been a while.
It was a long time ago.
I've wanted to get that going again. It's just always time is the enemy. Let me think. So upcoming things. I am currently learning Orleans, and I think that's going to be a good candidate for a tutorial. The Gallerist. I really want to do the Gallerist, so that's going to be a beast. Stronghold just released. That was a big animal. That was a 40-minute video, and there were some difficulties in the rulebook. There were some things that were missing. There were a few things that were contradictory, or maybe just not as clear as they could have been. Yeah. And so I worked all of that into the video, and so it was quite an endeavor. I'm very glad to have done it. But that was, I'm looking forward to doing a couple of lighter things. I'm looking forward to Pep doing the instructional video for Tiny Epic Kingdoms so I can have a little breather. Okay, so James Porter's asking, I asked Rodney this a while ago, Pep, if you were a suspect in Clue, which of the classic weapons would you use and why? Love this question.
Which of the classic weapons? Probably rope, because you can there's always a use for rope.
Beyond the killing, you mean? Like,
I forgot to make you watch that video earlier.
You did. You had a rope joke earlier.
I had a rope joke, but I needed you to fully understand.
Well,
yeah, so it's too late now.
Still in the dark.
But I'd go with rope. Rope has so many practical applications. I guess especially for killing someone.
Yeah, but isn't it a little suspicious just walking around with a big, bundle of rope?
No, you put it in your belly.
A candlestick, you could probably have an excuse for.
I don't know you mean you could just walk around like, hi, I have a candlestick. Boom.
I think in the context of Clue, though, it's still a little older. It was like an old mansion. There might be.
You can just be like, they'll be like, what's the rope for? And you say, killing you.
If anyone has any questions, you kill them. Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Problem solved.
Hadn't considered that.
From the ones I remember, I think there was even a gun. It's like the gun and the knife are so simple, and then the rest are kind of.
Yeah, there's kind of a little more.
The wrench. Wrench, candlestick, rope, gun, knife. I'm missing one. What am I missing?
I'm not sure. Well, we've answered that question. There's so many more. Let's move on. Let's see. Dara says, when you do the gameplay videos Above and Below Nurshima Hex, how much of those videos are scripted versus ad lib? Good question.
That's a great question.
The gameplay videos are not scripted aside from knowing like what the viewers voted on. I'll write that out and often read it out. There's certainly situations where we might do something and then redo a take 2 or 3 times. We flub a word or something, or so something doesn't feel right, but there's not really a script to guide that. It's just more of feeling it out as we go along. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's the occasional time where, something will be said kind of jokingly after the take. And then we'll be like, oh, we should, let's redo that and work that back in. That was good. I like
that relationships, right? Like
the relationships,
the triangle square, you said, that's not how relationships work. And I said, relationships. And you're like, oh, that's perfect.
That's good.
So we had to work that into it because it was funny to us, and we hoped it would be funny to other people. Are those samurai swords in the background? Asks Larry Sue.
Those are shinai, bamboo practice swords.
Right.
I do have katanas too, but they're not up there.
Thank goodness. All right, so I just got a notification that this. Oh boy, things jumped a little bit. Sound is fine. It's better now. I think it's better now had to do maybe with the sync, hopefully.
I like this next question.
Do either of you play any kind of trading card games such as Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh? I played Magic when it first came out. Had all the original first set. Got rid of it around, what do they call that? Beta was the second or whatever. Foolishly sold it all. Basically, I just knew, though, what kind of game that was and how my collection needing was at the time, and I was going to try to get every card, and that would just kill me.
You were a little weirdly obsessive with how you did that.
Yeah.
I remember being strange. It's like, oh, do you want to trade that? It's like, no, I'm not going to use it, but I don't want to have less than one of it. Like, okay.
Yeah, because for me, there's a certain satisfaction to filling the binder, knowing I've got they put number, 1 of this, 2 of this, and so I would want to have all of them. I don't have that same collective gene about other things, but I do seem to have it with that. Yeah.
I did both. I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time. Went to tournaments, nationals, that kind of thing. And I actually have a picture of me with the guy who won the national championship the year before, and I was
Yes.
weirdly proud of it. Like, he didn't care. He was just like, I don't understand why this is a big deal. And I'm like, man, this is the winner of last nationals. I'm like,
This is a big deal. You have no
I got
idea.
a picture with this guy. And yeah, Magic, I started playing in the original Mirrodin, and just kind of played on and off since then.
And he's really good. That's good. No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay. Have you guys had a chance to play Mysterium? Yes, we played it together, in fact.
Both old and new.
That's right. Exactly.
Mysterium and Tokomama Wazamad.
Yeah, the original one that came out of BGG-Con 2 years ago and just took the place by storm. Ian O'Toole. Hello, Ian. That's the graphic designer behind Gallerist.
Oh.
And it slipped my mind. There's another game that we played. Sorry, Ian. It's slipping my mind. I apologize.
Gallerist looks awesome.
Yeah, Gallerist is amazing, right? Why are we wearing lipstick? Because one of the things... Barry, thanks for asking that question.
It does, now that I'm looking at it, it does kind of look like we're wearing lipstick.
You'll notice the rest of the colors in this image are relatively muted, but for whatever reason, red is really popping. So it looks like we're wearing lipstick. Maybe we're going out to a fancy ball after this. Don't judge me. So did you try to play Codenames with Dixit cards instead of words?
That sounds awesome.
No, I have not. I hadn't even heard of that.
We're doing that.
That does sound pretty awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah. You use them as the clues. So you'd say, Canada, and you try to look for things with maybe red and white in them, or that's amazing.
Woo!
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
This whole Q&A was just worth it.
Yeah, we're done. Everyone,
Goodbye.
see you guys later.
Shut this down. We gotta go play Codenames with Dixit. Episode 2 of Above and Below playthrough might be available
tomorrow night.
You jerk. As soon as I finish editing it, it's going to take me a little while. There was quite a bit of there was a segment where we forgot to turn the mic on. Oh, it's just anyway.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I'm an online gamer backer from the first Indiegogo and was wondering when we'll get that game in. Stephen B., there are a few people out there, speaking of perks I have not fulfilled, there are a few people that for whatever reason, some people got to me and said, no, it's all right, I didn't donate for that reason, and there's a list of a few people that I had trouble connecting up with. Stephen B., we've got to figure this out. Would you mind dropping me an email right now, watchitplayed@live.com, and let's see if we can figure this out, because one of the platforms I think would be really good for this would be Tabletopia, because it became a challenge sometimes to do some of those online games, and you've noticed I haven't since offered that as a perk in future fundraisers because I didn't want to offer perks that were going to be difficult for me to fulfill, and time and setup can sometimes be a challenge coordinating with somebody else. So, but I would like to fulfill that, Stephen. So let's try to make that happen, okay? Would you consider attending a smaller con like Toronto's Breakout Con? Consider, of course, the biggest challenge is money and time. That's the thing, right? If I'm away at a convention, and I do try to go to a few conventions a year, it means I'm not home shooting video, which is what the core of this channel is about, providing content about board games. So I tend to focus on cons where I think it is going to be beneficial for the channel for me to be there, and or where there's people I want to see that are there. But I love smaller conventions because it's mainly focused on the games. It's less about the work and the business there. So, yeah. And that's in Toronto. It's closer, which would be cheaper for flights. How many cookies can I eat in one sitting? Jacob, so many cookies. I'm not even kidding. It would be nothing for me to buy a box of Oreos and just down those.
African or European?
Oreos?
No, I'm just...
What did you say? How did I miss this joke?
No, it's like from the I can't even think of the name of it.
If you have to explain it, the joke is gone. Sorry.
It's done.
But
52 is my answer.
I love cookies.
As long as they're not bigger than my two hand. Like if I can hold them in one hand, I can eat 52.
The only person who maybe likes cookies more than I do is Ignacy Chevicek. He loves cookies.
Yeah, I don't even really like cookies unless you give them to me and then I love them.
Love them.
Oatmeal raisin.
Okay, Michael Zinda says, have you managed to play any Necromunda since getting the game last year? Interesting question.
I'm going to guess no.
The answer is no. Here's what happened. So I got a bunch of the Necromunda stuff. I was very excited about that. The original rules, there were some issues with it, and the community had gone ahead and created a living document to update some of the rules, especially for campaign play. I think it's fine as one-offs, but the campaign play had some problems. And I felt that the rules were complex enough that I wanted to rewrite the rule book to make it simpler. Not change the rules, but just condense it down. So I started this arduous process of going through the rules, taking one page and turning it into a paragraph, saying it more efficiently, which is what I try to do with the instructional videos. And I got stalled partway through that process. And then I found out they're planning to re-release Necromunda. Games Workshop is going to do an updated version of it, which I'm really excited to hear, because I have all these other miniatures and the terrain in that. And I'd love to see an updated, streamlined rulebook that still allows for campaign play and stuff. I loved skirmish-sized miniatures games so that you have an attachment to all the little figures. It's just not a bunch of nameless hundreds of army dudes.
You should just make me play it with you.
What, the new or the old?
Well, the old one, yeah.
Yeah, I should. But again, it was that problem of just trying to condense the rules so I could teach it to someone in an efficient manner. Any plans to play more of the End of the World RPG? Ian, yes, I'd love to. I know Pep and I have even talked about trying to run something here for that.
Yeah, either one of us.
Yeah, I'd like to run it for Pep, honestly, because Pep runs a lot of role-playing games. The crew of us that were playing at BGG-Con, I think it'd be fun to continue the adventure we were on, but there is a little logistical problem there. We did it at BGG-Con. We're not there anymore. So will we pretend that we're still there, I guess?
Get on a plane.
Yeah, I guess so.
A zombie plane.
Zombies on a plane. So I don't know. I definitely want to play more of it. And Joel Eddy of Drive Thru Review just put up a review on it. If anyone's curious about the End of the World RPG, check out his channel.
The Gallerist, do it.
Do it. I want to do it, Ian, believe me. So Half Evil writes, standard Q&A question, do you watch videos from other board game personalities? If so, whom? Yeah, tons. Tons!
Yeah, you tons.
Podcasts, loads of podcasts.
It's fine. Check your phone.
No, I mean, like, just this is all podcasts and they're all board gaming related, except for one, maybe. Mr. Sunday Movies, or the Weekly Planet. Sorry, the Weekly Planet podcast, which is just a general geeky one, and the Planetary Radio, which is about science, space, and astronomy and stuff like that. As far as who, I mean, like, gosh, listing them would be so difficult. The Dice Tower, Marco Arnardo, Wargamer, Dukes of Dice, Shut Up and Sit Down, you know, anyone you can imagine. It used to be there was a time when I could watch everyone's content and stay up to date with it. That's long since passed, so I tend to pick and choose. But I do try to keep an eye on people who are doing new content and check out what's someone new to the scene trying to offer, and that's fun. So.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a vague answer with not a lot of specifics. It's just there's so many, so much content. And unlike some other people, I do try to watch a lot of stuff. Like I do try to at least have a sense of what everyone else is doing out there.
I'm more blippy. Like I'll watch things that come up on my feeds and things like that. And if I'm actually looking to know something about a particular game, I actually will look up like Tom's videos, anything that you haven't done, of course.
Thank you.
But when it does come to like something like reviews,
yes.
I do kind of enjoy Tom's like style of review where it just kind of happens as he's describing how the game works. You know, he'd say, "Oh, you know, you do this whenever you do this, and you know, oh, I like that kind of thing, and the way it works similar to this." And it's like, oh, it's kind of nice. Just he rolls off the tongue, and I like how he throws pieces on the board.
Yeah, you would.
And Shut Up and Watch Dice Hate Happen.
Oh,
Chris Letter.
Oh, liter even.
Chris Milliliter.
Oh, Shut
Kilometer.
Shut Up and Watch Dice Hate Happen is one of my favorite shows. So if you haven't seen that one, Google it. All right, let's see what else we got here. That old big jump again. Let's see. Which conventions you go each year? Playthrough, audio, boom, boom, boom. All right, we're going to skip down a little bit because I don't mean to skip over people, but unfortunately.
I saw it, Monty Python and the Holy Grail was my reference. I couldn't think.
Yeah, I saw it too quickly.
I was thinking Life of Brian.
Yeah, there it is. It's gone. If you see it, let me know.
Pep's drink changed color. It did. Now I am drinking
He's got
Hawaiian Punch as my backup drink.
All right. What conventions do I go every year? This was kind of mentioned. I tried to go to Gen Con last year. I did BGG Con, Origins, Cool Mini or Not Expo, the Common Play Day events, and Gamma. Some of those things, the shows will bring me down. Sometimes I'm going on my own dime, so that can certainly have an influence because money.
Have you ever played poker using Oreos as poker chips? No, but I have used food before or candy, and no, it's not a good idea. It's an awful idea.
That's great.
Because
no, it is because
you eat your money.
Right.
Like it's not tempting. It just happens. You just eat your money.
Okay, so Krawchuk writes, or Krawchuk, are you looking forward to possibly heading down to Florida to play with the Dice Tower crew? What game would you hope to play with them? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Tom contacted me to see if I'd be interested in being part of a stretch goal. I said, why not? That seems like a fine idea. Tom and I always have a good time playing games together. We're pretty confrontational at the table, which is a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that Kemet will hit the table. Primarily, though, to be honest, I just want to know the games we're going to play beforehand because I like to know the rules really well to games I play, whereas the Dice Tower doesn't really care about that. So sometimes, I'll watch those live plays and I go, guys, you're playing the game wrong, and it just drives me up the wall. So I hope to be able to be there and make sure the games are being played correctly, whatever we play. Was Stronghold 2nd Edition the longest official how-to? Not really, because I did Dust Warfare, which was a multi-part instructional video, which is over an hour in length or more.
It was your longest single video, though, wasn't it?
I think it was. Descent 2nd Edition, I broke into 2 videos. I had like a setup. I did all the setup as one portion, and then I did the rules as separate. And the rules of that were 36 minutes, but if you add in the setup as well, then collectively it would have been, I think, just as long, if not a little longer.
Oh, Dara's asking.
Hey, Connor. How you doing? Good to see you on here. Thanks for jumping on.
What's that? Footless Gecko. I like that.
Yeah, that's relative. Let's see here. Relative. Not the gecko part. The person behind the gecko. What else we got here? Rodney, did you ever get in any trouble, conflict with any publisher? If yes, can you say why?
I'm going to guess you can't say why if yes.
Well, I certainly wouldn't say who. I tried to be a little more professional than that. But I cannot think of any publisher that I've had any conflicts with. I think part of the benefit of doing instructional videos and gameplays is that I'm not polarizing in that regard. I'm not saying this game is great, you should buy it, and then people buying it and going, I hated that game, why'd you tell me it was great? Or saying this game is terrible, and then someone's like, this is my favorite game, I've played this game for years and love it. And publishers, again, don't have to sort of defend their games when we feature them. So that's just never been an interest of mine to be kind of that kind of figure. Although I'm grateful for those people who do that, it's just not me. So I don't think I'm likely going to run into that problem. Maybe the only problem would be if someone said, hey, do you want to cover our game? And I just decide I don't want to. But oftentimes, that's just the nature of time. I can only do about 32 games a year because of how long each of the instructional videos take. So lots of great games will never feature on the show.
It's from T-Turtle, my shirt. Someone said they want the shirt. Yeah, it's from T-Turtle.
I think we saw it at a con, was it?
Yeah, I saw and I loved the logo. This is the T-Turtle logo, but they didn't have any shirts there that actually had just the logo, and you found one.
That's why I was so excited. Yeah, that's why I was so excited about that.
They make gaming they make a lot of gaming kind of shirts too. So,
Direct Review says it's fun. I regret letting that one go. I wonder which one he's referring to. He might be referring to Dead Zone, which is just above that. Yeah, because Dead Zone is another skirmish game by Mantic Games, and that one did pique my interest because of the similarities to Necromunda. You see anything else here, Pat, that you want to jump on?
Well, we just missed I guess we don't have to read every question. But we missed...
I feel bad about that. But
what RPGs have you run in the past? Any favorites?
Boom, you answer this.
D&D. Run D&D second... Oh, well, sorry. I have skipped second. First edition, third edition, fourth, and fifth. Fourth is weird, but I don't hate it as much as everyone else does. Really like fifth, and 3 is... Obviously, everyone likes 3. First is weird, but yeah. GURPS, I didn't really get to play it, but I don't know. I really like the idea of GURPS. I'd really like to try it more.
I played a GURPS session
with
you.
Oh, with John, right?
And John.
Yeah, okay.
And it was bizarre.
Yeah, it was a little...
Okay, let's see here. Reddick says, can you say something about Besieged? Yes, I can say I have a copy. I have not yet broken it open and played it. I have a shelf of shame, games that I have just not had a chance to play yet. And that's typically because I'm working on a game for the channel, and that's just the way it goes. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm very fortunate to be able to make videos about board games. So.
Oh, I saw one. What's your favorite game mechanic?
Yes, I think we're getting down here. This is good. Do you have a favorite game mechanic? I can name a couple of things that I like.
Oh, it was down further, was it, when you skipped back down?
No,
it might
it's
have been up.
It's up higher, yeah.
There it is. Eric. Oh, it's Eric Booth. Hi, Eric. Hey! I see him all the time, in my dreams. Eric, my favorite game mechanic.
I'm jealous. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. Do you have an answer?
Yeah, I'll answer.
Okay. I'll go back after.
I'm not sure if this is a game mechanic necessarily, but I'll describe something I love seeing in games. I love...
Oh, I got my answer.
I'll say another one. I just thought of another. I love exploding dice. I love that.
What?
Exploding dice.
What?
I'll define it better. It's like when you roll a 6, you get to pick up, that counts as a success, and you get to roll a second die, so like an Arcadia Quest, right? I love when there's like, oh my goodness, I have no chance of winning this. Oh, I get to roll again. Oh, I got another success. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I love that. But I was going to say, I really enjoy the mechanic in Game of Thrones, the board game 2nd edition, and in Kemet, where you go into combat with somebody. You can see exactly the number of troops they have on the board. They know exactly how much you have, so we can calculate the strength. We can do the math there. I know the cards that you have in your hand. I know what you could potentially play, so I can try to math out odds of success and failure. You know what I have. But then we secretly put one down.
Yeah.
What I don't know is what you'll actually do based on what you know I know and what you think I know and what you think I'm going to do. I love that. And then the reveal. So there's
math, perfect information,
there is
and bluffing.
Yeah, it's like slightly imperfect information, right? But it's very close. It's very close. And I love that. Just slightly imperfect information. I really enjoy that.
No, I like that too. I thought of my answer.
Oh, please.
Mine is follow the leader mechanics. Eminent Domain, Puerto Rico, anything like that.
Even Tiny Epic Kingdoms.
Tiny Epic Kingdoms, yeah. You know, I take an action, I choose it because I want it, but then everyone else gets a benefit because of it.
Yeah.
So I just love the way that it feels because one, you know, you are making a choice that's affecting everyone else, but also you have to make a choice that you think won't help everyone else more than you.
Right.
And I love that. I love the way it works.
Can I say something else I love about that? It keeps everyone engaged at the table too.
Yes.
You're taking your turn, but all of us are doing something, so we're all actively engaged. I love that. Good one. Good one. All right. Let's see.
What have you and Luke been enjoying together lately?
Oh, Nils Knight. We can get to that. But Nils Knight wrote, "Hey, I sent you an email a month ago. Oh dear, what's this going to be? Still gaming in the Middle East with my battle buddies. Will you be reviewing Super Dungeon Explorer Forgotten King?" I do remember getting that email. Thanks. It was great to hear from you. I don't plan to. I mean, we did Super Dungeon Explorer. I know Forgotten King is different, but I'm not sure at this point that it's different enough. It probably is quite different. Anyone who's played both would probably say, "Oh yes, it's different enough," but with so many games and so many options, I don't know if I would do one so close again. I have the same question around Imperial Assault. We did Descent 2nd Edition. Imperial Assault appeals to me, but it's very similar. Maybe if I was to do that game, I would just focus on teaching the skirmish rules, which are a separate way of playing that game, and it's different. Anyway.
Do Canadians actually eat poutine? Yes, we do.
Certainly we do.
There's even a store called Pizza and Poutine Co. where you literally basically just go to buy different kinds of poutine. Right. Like that's the only thing it's really there for is getting poutine. So
poutine's pretty great.
It's good.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, especially when you add meat in. That's what they do. Like you get poutine with bacon and hamburger and it's good.
I'm hungry. Should we just stop this Q&A?
Let's go get some. I'll drive to town. I won't tell your wife if you don't.
Right. You mentioned a question up here earlier from Havel Lucy. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Hello, Rodney and Pat. Hello.
Hello.
What games have you and Luke been enjoying together lately? Luke and I played recently Friday. We played that on a plane, on the table trays, which was really cool. What else have we played recently? Quicks. He pulled Quicks off the shelf and wanted to play that. Pep and I played Stronghold as a way of helping me prepare for that instructional series.
Stressful.
It was stressful.
It's really stressful being the attacker.
Yeah, you had a lot to manage. But you pulled off the win.
Oh, yeah. I thought I lost for some reason.
You won. What about you? Anything you've been playing recently that's... I'll tell you, Concordia. I'm cutting you off. I want to say more. Concordia. I want to get that to the table again. I've been having trouble getting Concordia to the table, and I really want to. So that's something I'll say. Star Realms. Yes, you've been playing lots of Star Realms.
I have been playing lots of Star Realms. I have the app. You should download this app, pay the money for it, and then add me, Board Pep. I will play Star Realms with you. Whoever you are, infinite amounts of times, challenge me forever.
Yeah, I did that for a while.
Yeah.
The forever eventually stopped, but I put my name out there and was playing constantly. It's a great game for playing tons of games all at once. It's easy to sort of pick up.
Yeah, the first night I had 24 games going at the same time. So I just did nothing for hours other than hit next game.
Because they're so quick that the person's getting it. By the time you cycle back around to them, they've taken their turn, so you can just keep going.
It's confusing, though. You have to keep clicking on your discard and your deck to check, what did I buy in this game? Right. And you never remember what your opponents have, because you have to go and check that, too.
Oh, gosh, we jumped again. I saw a question about Roll for the Galaxy and... I jumped a whole bunch of questions. Have we played Roll for the Galaxy and Race for the Galaxy? Have you played both?
I've played both, yep.
I've only played Race. I really want to play Roll. Do you have a preference?
Roll. Race. Roll. I mean, I like rolling dice. The dice are cute and small.
Craig, No plans right now for other family members to join in on playthroughs, but I'm sure eventually in the future it'll happen. Andrew, when she was home for Christmas, we had wanted to do something, but I had been shooting so many videos leading up to Christmas, knowing that I was going to have an extended break, that I needed a little break, honestly, from shooting videos. So her and I just played games, and that was
You got the one Periscope in with
We did a Periscope, yeah.
Parfum,
exactly.
Parfum,
Game
yeah.
she pulled off the shelf and wanted to learn, so that was great. Pete Spooner asks, are you planning to sell Watch and Play shirts in the not-so-distant future?
Well, not thumbs up as in yes, thumbs up as in you should do it.
Yeah, I hope so. The t-shirt problem is that it's hard to find good quality t-shirts. I can find t-shirts and I can sell t-shirts like that, but I've never been really happy with the quality of the material. They're usually wafer thin because the company's trying to make as much money as possible off the t-shirts. So I'm in the pursuit of that.
Dara asks, Rodney, asking for a friend, do you have a weakness that your, let's say, nemesis may be able to exploit?
You can count on me to betray you? There's that.
That's kind of easy to. Yeah. But you can count on you to betray other people too, I guess. So.
I don't know.
Do you have a weakness that you can think of?
I have, like in games or just in life?
In games.
Yeah, I can get overwhelmed by too many options, and then I make less than perfect decisions. I'll often make decisions based on my gut rather than maybe the information exactly in front of me. Like I'll go, oh, this feels like the right thing to do, or I want to do this. And that's not necessarily the best method to approach if you're trying to win, right? So, because sometimes I'll lose sight of like, oh, the optimal move is this, but I'm kind of curious about this. Or maybe if I get lucky, I'll be really fortunate here. And maybe I'll rely on luck when I shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are maybe a couple of areas of weakness. Let's see. Let's jump down a little bit here, and then maybe we'll play a little turn of our game before we run out of time, because we're already 42 minutes into this. I can't believe it.
Do we have a time limit?
I'd like to keep it to an hour, if possible. Don't be sad. All right.
I'm sad already.
I know. What board games do both of you play online? Well, I used to play loads of Star Realms. Pep is playing Star Realms.
Star Realms, Hearthstone.
Carcassonne, Hearthstone, which is it's basically a board game, I suppose.
Yeah, right.
Subterfuge is not a board game, but it reminds me of Diplomacy, although I only played it the once. My phone is full. I used to have a phone that had more storage, and I'm really missing the extra storage. You know what I was playing, and we went on vacation, and we were standing in lines a lot, and I played Heads Up. That game where you put like the thing on your head, and it will say a word, and the other people try to get you to say what it is. And it was fantastic. In line, other people would see us playing, and they would want to play, and they couldn't help themselves. They'd start making guesses or giving clues, and it was really a lot of fun that way.
It's chilly.
All right, 2 more minutes of questions, and then we'll do a little Scruples.
Pep's drink changed again. Yeah,
did you?
I added some more red to it.
All right. What is the first tabletop game that you have played? This is from the Gaming Hobbyist. Are there any games that you have played incorrectly? Oh, so many. Even on the channel, I've played games incorrectly. First tabletop game of note would probably, like my gateway game would have been Carcassonne. Although I played games before that, like I played Empires in Arms, which is a ridiculous war game that takes hours and hours and hours to play, and Ambush. That was me more just fascinated by gaming, but I didn't really know, and I wasn't playing a bunch of other games at that point. Carcassonne started the real thing, Carcassonne, then to Arkham Horror, which is a strange jump, and then into everything I'm doing now. What about you?
Technically it was Axis and Allies, but that was the only game I played around then. And then once I got into Catan, Settlers of Catan, right. I started getting more and more into it. But
I should mention Magic too. I guess when Magic first came out, that really captured my imagination. I was playing CCGs for a while.
But it's true though that like the idea of a gateway game is that it takes you and then grabs you and pulls you into everything else. Yeah. And like Magic wasn't even that for me.
No,
like,
it just pulled me into more Magic.
Yeah, Magic it's a straight line through more Magic.
Yeah, that's right.
And a straight line through your wallet.
Totally through your wallet.
Yeah.
Okay. Have we seen the new Star Wars movie? This is from Craig Lynn. If so, what were your thoughts without giving away any spoilers? And what about the guy with the crazy baton? The stormtrooper with the crazy baton. Don't tell me you don't even know.
No, and it was in the trailer, so I don't even care about spoilers. Yeah, there's a stormtrooper who has like a lightsaber deflecting baton. And it's like, okay.
I went with Luke.
I'm glad we casually have those now.
Yeah, just have those suddenly. I believe that's explained. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the expanded universe.
Yeah.
I have no interest in the expanded universe. That is to say, I'm not.
It's just
pursuing
felt weird to drop it into the movie with no explanation.
Right.
It's like, why doesn't every stormtrooper has it? Why does this one guy have it? What's this guy's name? Is he important? He's dead now. Spoilers.
I love the movie. I really did. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I saw it twice. Are there things I could complain about? Sure. But they like sit here underneath of my overwhelming enjoyment of the experience.
His name was Traitor. I love it.
So I will. His name, TR8R. So that's a good place to stop, I think. Just for a moment.
Oh, for a moment, yeah.
And we'll do a little Scruples. If you're not familiar with Scruples, it's basically a conversational game, really, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yes.
And then, I'm gonna ask you a question, and then you're gonna have these 3 different cards. Apparently, we're mirrored, by the way.
Yeah, we are mirrored. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah.
Someday I'll.
We're not looking in a mirror, but it's just magic.
Oh, you know what?
Is there just a button you can press?
No, we'll leave it because I don't want to potentially screw this up.
Okay. So there's no, yes, and depends. So I'm going to ask him the question, and then I'm going to guess whether he's going to say yes, no, or depends to it. And you guys should probably guess along.
Yeah, you do the same thing. Well, maybe we'll do 2 or 3 of these, if not more, and guess and then score yourself a point if you're correct. Have we played Alchemists? Yes, we played it together.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris Fong, for the question. Yes, it's in a mirror. Very bizarre. Sorry.
First question, Rodney.
Yes.
You feel you are underpaid. Do you give your job 100%?
Oh, so if I felt I was underpaid, yes. Yeah. I say yes to that because I've been in that situation before. Actually, let's talk about Watch It Played for a moment. Let's go back 2 or 3 years when I was working full time on the show and not getting paid what you would consider a livable wage. Yeah. But in that situation, I wanted the show to be successful, and I loved what I was doing, and I believed it could be, and I felt that the people who watched the show believed in it. My wife was believing in me, and so definitely I worked 100%. Now that's a little different than, say, working a job maybe you're not really even enjoying. But when I worked at the government, there was times where I felt like my experience was being underpaid, but I worked hard because I wanted eventually someone would recognize it, and I wanted to also go to bed at night feeling like I'd done what I could. Yeah. That said, there might have been the occasion where maybe I surfed the net for an extra bit of time after a lunch break or something. But yeah, what'd you say?
I said yes.
You said yes?
I already showed them.
Okay. So it was
while
a yes.
You were talking.
All right. Here we go. You ready?
Sure.
Question for Pep.
I'm worried.
All right. Your cherry pie has won prizes at county fairs. A friend asks you for the recipe. Ooh, do you leave out an important ingredient? This is an interesting question because I just want to say anecdotally, my mother had this thing about she would not lend out recipes to things that she had cooked. There was something within the family, yes, but not necessarily to strangers. I don't think she would fake or fudge the ingredients, but there was family secrets there. So, would you?
Are you gonna?
Oh yes, I have to. Oh boy.
I don't know.
Yes, no, or depends.
So just a quick reminder, the question is...
Because you're a joker, I could see you
would I leave out an ingredient?
Yeah, I could see you doing that not out of spite, but just as a joker. I don't know. I'm going to put down my answer and we'll see.
I actually really like that song by Warrant. The answer is no.
Okay.
Because I think pride in what you do is very important, especially when you create something.
Yes.
And I feel like purposely giving somebody a flawed version of it just looks bad on me. Because they're going to make that cherry pie and be like, this sucks. Yes. Pep's pie is awful. He must have just got lucky that other time. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good principle in life, too, because honestly, if you're good at something...
What'd you pick?
You'll always be... I said depends. Because
Oh.
I thought of the joker side of it. I didn't think you'd do it in earnestness, but I could see a scenario where you...
Oh, they all thought I'd leave it out.
Well, there you go. We learned something about you. Let's do it. Let's do another one.
Oh, yeah, that was the... All right. Rodney.
Yes.
You are a restaurant critic. Job change for you.
Okay.
A good friend owns a restaurant and asks you to review it. Perhaps he makes cherry pie. The food is mediocre. Do you say so in the review?
Poor guy. He got that recipe from you, didn't he? And you left out an ingredient.
Maybe.
Sorry, what was the last part? What's the final question?
Do you say so in the review? The food is mediocre. Do you say so in the review?
Okay. Have you got your answer?
Mm-mm.
Honestly, here's the thing, and I don't know how to answer this yes, no, or depends, but you can help me. You can decide for me, Pep, what you think this falls under.
Perfect.
If it was a friend and I felt the food was mediocre, I was going to have to give them a negative review, I just wouldn't do the review because they're a friend.
Oh.
So I would avoid this scenario because my courtesy would not be to lie to my customers, my viewers or readers. I wouldn't want to lie to them. But I also don't want to destroy my friend's restaurant. Maybe he's got some room for improvement. I would take that opportunity to say, listen, I'm a critic. I've reviewed a lot of different stuff. Your food's kind of mediocre. If you want to do better, you're going to have to up that. I would try to spin it in a positive way, I think.
I don't know how that would. So there would probably be no. You just didn't, or maybe it depends.
I guess it's a no.
But I said yes either way. So
yeah.
I thought it was just like a professional thing. It's like, I'm a reviewer. I got to do it. Dara made a funny comment there. Said it was a trick question. Rodney won't review it. He'll just teach how to do it.
That's right. I have to teach how to cook it. Honestly, though, if it was a thing where it was my job and my job was saying, no, you must, we're paying you, you have to do this, then it would be a yes.
It would still be a yes?
It would be a yes. I would have to do it in that case.
Yeah, so if it was, you're going to this restaurant, you're going to review it, you can't.
It's that magic circle thing again. I would expect my friend to understand this is my job. So I'm being honest, and I would give them a heads up. This is coming out. So there you go. Would you like another question?
Sure, one more.
All right. Oh, Dara. If it was Marty's restaurant, he would review it brutally honest and then stab him in the back. That's not how I feel about Marty at all.
Probably with the knife that was served on his plate.
You're all horrible. I love you, Marty. Okay, question. You are a serious filmmaker. A soft drink company offers big money if its products are prominently seen and used in your next movie. Do you accept?
Do I accept? That's a good question. I'm going to answer this one pretty quick.
All right.
I most definitely do.
Okay. I agree that you would.
Yeah. Because in movies, first of all, there's product placements all the time, and you don't even notice.
How do you not have products on and around you? Why not get
if you just happen to be sitting here, and there just happens to be Hawaiian Punch there. No one's going to question anything.
Hit us up. Watch it played at live.com.
Yeah.
Send that royalty check.
Yeah. Hawaiian Punch. Who actually makes this? Vitamin C? What's the name of this company?
Vitamin C.
Is it Hawaiian Punch?
Pepsi?
Maybe. It might be Pepsi.
Maybe. Probably. Everything's owned by Pepsi. Or maybe it's Asmodee. Asmodee
might probably is that.
It's probably
Asmodee.
Yeah, there
it's
it
right
is.
there. Yeah, okay.
Okay. We've got 7 more minutes. Let's do another question. And then we'll see if anyone else...
Oh, we could do these questions.
Do we have some questions?
Oh, we might. I think we...
I don't know. There's been lots of banter about the...
Will you crush? I see what... Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Will you...
Okay, here's the deal. We're going to do one more. But you guys, if you want to throw in some last questions before we sign off, this is the time to write them in, and then we'll come on and
if we missed your question, okay, they're putting things backwards now. It's throwing me off.
That's the right Hawaiian Punch backwards because mirrored video. Sorry, everybody.
Panamin Munch. Yeah, and if you asked a question before and it hasn't been answered, just ask it again.
Yeah, just repeat here.
Yeah.
Forbidden Stars question. I can imagine what that is. Go ahead.
I like that question.
Okay, here, we'll stop then for a couple questions. Go ahead and ask the Forbidden Stars question.
No, I meant, do you receive requests to translate?
I'm saying to that person, go ahead and ask the question. And we'll do Dave Vignola. Do you receive requests to translate your videos or at least to add subtitles? Yes, I have received requests, and sometimes people have sent me the SRT files. And if they do, I will add them to the video. But I don't personally translate them. I'm not multilingual or bilingual or whatever.
Pourquoi?
Because it's a lot of effort to learn another language. And I'm impressed with people who know multiple languages, but it's not a perk of my own. I don't have that ability. So yeah. The other downside to subtitles is I really don't know if they're accurate. They could be. Someone submits it. They could be
very
totally
strange.
Wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Briggs, what do you think of changing the entire written storyline in books for Star Wars? For your information, there's no Ben Solo in any of the books. I don't care because I don't read the books. I just watch the movies.
Well, I have a quick answer too. It's that they already declared the written books are no longer canon. It's saddening, but I don't know. When it comes to films, I just have to accept that and
And when I say I don't care, I don't mean that you shouldn't care. It's just I'm not interested in the lore to that degree, so it doesn't affect me. How different is playing games with 2 players versus playing the same game with a larger group? Depends on the game.
Very much
depends on the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there certainly are certain games that work better with a group, some that work better with 2.
But that being said, a game with 2 players is often more personal, more personable. Like if you're having a 5-player game, you kind of don't want conversation as much because the game will drag on forever. Whereas if we're having like a 2-player game, we stop for like a minute
you can
to
shoot
talk.
the breeze a little bit.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it interferes with the game.
You're only affecting each other's time.
Yeah.
Not the third person at the table who doesn't want to be in this conversation.
Yeah, it's
just
like,
wants to
that's
keep the game
great.
going.
Yeah, keep talking about Dungeons and Dragons. That's, because I totally want to hear that.
Or Hawaiian Punch.
Or Hawaiian Punch, yeah.
All right. Boop, 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 boop. Have you played the Kemet expansion? Barry, I have not played it, but I'm very excited to say that the expansion is on its way to me. Brian Fay, who painted my Kemet miniatures, is painting the expansion for me and sending it along. Thank you, Brian, if you're watching. If you're not, well, thank you anyway. And I'm looking forward to getting that soon.
Do we have a favorite theme in games that we play? Theme is interesting.
I probably do, but I'm not sure right now what it is. I am drawn to fantasy more than sci-fi, but I don't dislike sci-fi. I'm just drawn to fantasy more. I don't know. I like when themes are interesting. They do something different.
I'd say I like fantasy more. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I wish I had like a more specific answer.
Space stuff is interesting. Anything where you're like conquering planets, like Twilight Imperium 3, I really like that because I like planet conquering stuff.
Yes.
I like if it's going to be in space, I want it to be all in space, like going off, conquering planets, destroying suns. I don't know, whatever.
All right, Ben Solo. I'll tell you one thing I don't like in themes is when they mix a whole bunch of them together. Like I don't want cavalry mixed with sci-fi dudes, mixed with gorilla men, mixed with that doesn't appeal to me as much.
Heroescape.
Yeah, like I like Heroescape as a game and what it's trying to do. The theme, not my favorite. Just the whole mishmash of everything.
Smash Up was another one. I was kind of it seemed like the whole theme. I would like the theme mashup thing more if it was in an app. I think so. If I picked zombie dragons, I would actually have zombie dragons, not zombies and dragons.
Right.
Like if it was on an app, I think something like Smash Up. Yeah,
that's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got 3 minutes.
Uh-oh.
You're stranded on a desert island and you can only choose, and can only have 3 games. What would you guys choose?
Oh, wait. Do we each get 3, or do we have to have 3 that the 2 of us will play together?
That's a trick question. I'm not going to answer it. I don't do top 3s and 10s. Kemet. So
I don't like Kemet, so I'm going to strike that off my list. Wait. I'm going to assume that it's us, and I'm going to bring Kemet.
Okay.
Because I know you like it, and I'll play whatever.
Thank you.
Lords of Waterdeep and Star Realms, maybe. Yeah, that's what's weird. Sometimes questions like that, honestly, if you asked me and I had a long time to think about it, I could probably come up with much different answers.
Yeah. Something you'd be very convinced of. Like right now, you seem a little unsure, right?
Well, like Star Realms, for example, I really like playing it. I'm currently playing it a lot, but I mean, I don't know, if you're on a deserted island, maybe you want
to be blown away all the time.
Maybe
you want things that are waterproof.
Maybe something edible, like Clay Legacy or something.
Oh gosh. All right, how did we two meet? Well, Joe, thanks for the question. I was looking for a game group. I moved to the island. I went to a comic book game store in Charlottetown. That's the capital of Prince Edward Island. And I said, do you know of any like game groups, especially like in Montague where I live? And they said, oh, we have some people who come in from Montague to play Magic. And they mentioned Pep's name. Andrew was with me. She's like, oh, I know who Pep is, because Andrew was in school at the time. They're not in the same grade, obviously, but knew of Pep. And so I think I tracked you down on Facebook, maybe, and sent you a message and said, hey, I'm friends with... I'm friends with Andrea. Andrea's my daughter.
Close friends.
I heard about that you liked a game. I'm looking for a game group. And I think you said, hey, we have a Magic group that gets together. Why don't you come? I did.
Well, sort of. We had like 3 or 4 people, to clarify, that would play Magic. And whenever you came, you kind of said like, oh, find all the people you can who would like play games. And so we ended up with, I think it was like 20 people.
It was ridiculous.
My apartment, this apartment's huge compared to my old one. It was like jamming 20 people into a large closet.
Oh yeah.
And we had like the one table and like 8 chairs.
I was blown away because I've been like on the island for months trying to find gamers, and like suddenly there's like 20, and I thought this was like the norm. Like, I had so much fun. Did we play any board games?
We must have. We played Magic.
We played a lot of Magic.
But we played a couple games, I think.
And then slowly I started bringing the board games, and eventually just board games all the time.
Yeah, and we've basically done it every Wednesday since.
Yeah.
We only miss it because of bad weather.
And Pep hosts it now here at his apartment, which is great. It's a big open space. We have room for tables, and we just play games.
Yeah, for a while we had like a community center place where we were doing it. Somebody said, and I had to clarify this because it hurt me. It said, "So you're not a Shadowrun fan?" I actually love Shadowrun, and when it comes to a game theme, Shadowrun is fantasy. It's fantasy mixed with like high tech guns and like dragons in modern times. Shadowrun is amazing. I wish I could play the RPG or like the role playing game of it, but it seems complicated and no one wants to run it. But yeah, I love the theme and the setting of Shadowrun. Like, love it.
Well, I'm going to say one quick thing here. We're going to wrap up, and I know there's more questions. Maybe you guys can save them. We'll try to do another Q&A. I mean, we have to double down just to catch up on the Q&As we missed.
Neither of us speak French, unfortunately.
Un peu. Mais...
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Oui, oui. Zut alors. One thing I'll try one thing I will try to do is get the mic on a separate, not attached to the table, because I'm sure every time we hit the table, you're probably hearing that in the mic, and I apologize if that's been a nuisance. Thankfully, I haven't seen people complaining about it, so maybe we haven't been doing it too much. But thanks for joining us for this live Q&A. I hope you'll tune in for more of the episodes we have coming out in the coming days and weeks, and keep an eye out for Above and Below, the second gameplay episode, as well as Tiny Epic
tomorrow
Kingdoms,
night.
Second edition. Tomorrow night. I will not have it done tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's game night.
Oh,
game
right. Yeah. No.
So can I come play
Thursday
games?
night.
All right.
Thursday night.
All right. Until the next episode, everyone. Thanks for watching.
You did it really fast.
Well, we're over time now.
Let's do it once more.
Okay. Until next time, thanks for watching. Is that too slow? We'll do it one more time. Okay. All right. Until next time, thanks for watching. Now I have to figure out how to turn this off.
Night.
See ya. Thanks, everybody.